Hi, and this is another Super Dave review, and we're looking at a very exciting action figure today. I am giddy over this one. I've been looking forward to it for a long time. Somehow I missed the Super 7 release, but now it is time to open him. Man-at-Arms, the Filmation version. We're going to break him open right now. Comes in that, this of course, traditional brown mailer box. There's the outside slip cover, and then you open the drawbridge to reveal the man himself. There he is, Man-at-Arms. Has the windows in the top, and of course the nice artwork in the back. If you want to pause and read that bio, you certainly can. Very cool. Let's break him open and check him out. All right, let's just notice right quick the backdrop on the inside of this action figure. It's like taking a peek into Castle Grayskull. I think that's just really cool the way that's done. If you can get it, there you go, get a picture of that. Isn't that neat? So cool. All right, so first thing that comes out of this box is one of those inventions of Man-at-Arms, the blaster. All right, there's Man-at-Arms blaster that he comes with. I'm not sure if this is the one that shrunk things or not, but it was one of his inventions. It's called a cannon, and it's really cool looking, very detailed. And then, of course, his classic bat ram or scepter. It's really cool. His club. That's one of his traditional icons pieces. And then, of course, Man-at-Arms comes with the traditional looking blaster effect that he used in the opening sequence. If you ever remember watching the 80s cartoon, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where he does that pose and does the blast effect. So those are his accessories, and we'll take a look at that in more detail when we pose him out. But there is our figure in all of his glory. There is Man-at-Arms. And let me just tell you, they nailed the face. Very Filmation accurate face. They nailed it. They got it exactly right. You can see, let's look at the comparison. Bang, see? They got it just right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good job, bravo. This is just so cool just to have him come alive from the cartoon that we grew up and loved to be that accurate to his actual look. He's a very nice looking figure with a lot of things going for him here. He just has an excellent shape. He looks just exactly simple like the Filmation would look. Even his loincloth area. His armor is not bulky. It's not one of those attached kind with you know, little belts or straps. It's almost meshed into with his body, especially the ones on his arm. Now this is kind of a rubbery material here that certainly can be pulled on and shaped a little bit and even adjusted, but it doesn't, to my knowledge, come off. Now there is some places here that looks like there's some tabs, but they're glued, and I don't know why you'd want to take it off, because that's his classic look. That is Man-at-Arms right there. The boots are just right, simple enough. The shin guards, everything looks just great. His helmet, just enough detail and the right colors to just imitate and look Filmation accurate. Bravo Super 7. We love Man-at-Arms. I can't wait to pose this figure and do some neat things with him. That's him. All right, here is our figure, and he is measuring in at exactly 7 inches tall, standard for Motu Classics and even the Filmation line. Club Grayskull. And so let's look at Mr. Man-at-Arms Duncan's articulation. First of all, we'll take a look at the head. It goes back and forwards. My ball socket, he's on a ball joint, but it's a little spongy. What I mean by that is when you try to look up, he'll look up, but it sponges back. It's just kind of spongy. On my particular one, he'll look down, but you see how he'll go back up. And you know, that's that classical look that he would do a lot of times, where he would be looking down at a monitor doing something. It would just, he would almost cup his face into that little face guard, or that little armor. And so it's a little spongy on mine. Not sure if that's everyone. And of course he will tilt a little bit to the right and left as well. But again, they won't stay because it's kind of spongy. And I'm not sure why. I don't know if the ball joint underneath is too big on my particular figure's cut, but it just will not stay. I'm gonna have to use some sticky tack if I want to manipulate that head, make it stay in a certain pose. He'll look up about that much, and again it sponges down, it just pops right back down, but he'll look up about that much. Good range of motion, just doesn't want to stay. And so that's just that's this figure. All right, and then of course 360 with his arms. He's got that armor yellow there on his shoulder. That's painted on, that's not attached in any way. Same with the bicep area, but he has the bicep swivel. He's got a nice shoulder range of motion. He has a single jointed elbow, and he has really nice tight joints on the wrist, where it will swivel and hinged for the wrist there. And then the same thing on this side. Nice shoulder. It does limit a little bit on this side. You can see there it catches right there, but not bad. It goes a pretty good distance before catching that armor there. A little bit of paint smudging there, as you can see on mine. Some paint splatter right there. But overall, the paint apps on this figure are very well done. Don't see that many errors or defects there. Single jointed elbow, bicep swivel. Again, nice tight wrist joint, swivel and hinged. He has ab crunch, which is great. Glad that they included the ab crunch with this figure. He has waist swivel. He has those traditional Masters of the Universe classics ball jointed thighs and legs, so that allows him to have leg swivel here, get a full seated motion. The loincloth does not get in the way. Single jointed knee, has the shin guard and the boot cut, so to speak. Has nice range of motion with his ankle pivoting that way, as well as ankle pivoting. Yes, bravo, very well done. And they do not have the ugly hinge showing here. The hidden ankle pegs and everything, plus get excellent pivoting ankles, and bends up about that much and back about that much. Legs will go back about that much, forward seated for both legs. Of course, same thing on this side. Single jointed knees, and get a full split. So just excellent. That ab crunch will allow you to look back some, and of course forward. Just an excellent figure. Tight joints, good paint apps. Just looks exactly like Duncan should, that hung out with He-Man all the time in the cartoon, and Orko, and of course Teela's dad or adopted dad. And just excellent. He's man-at-arms. He's King Randor's chief technological techie, inventor, mechanic, you name it. He's just a jack of all trades, and also of course one of Prince Adam's best friends, and He-Man's as well. Bravo, Super 7, you did excellent. Thank you for this figure. Thank you so much for this figure. Just love having this figure. Let's look quickly at his accessories before we compare. So there's his club. All right. Here's his blaster cannon, which he can hold in both hands because of the way it's designed. And there goes that situation. We're trying to get him to look down. It's a little difficult on my figure. But that's cool. Check that out. There we go. You can see that good. All right, and then without further ado, one of the coolest, most impressive accessories that he comes with, because of that awesome, very neat opening sequence that we all know and love from the 80s cartoon.
Only 3 others share this secret. Our friends, the Sorceress, Man-at-Arms, and Orko.
He has his blaster effect. So I'm trying to get him kind of posed in that way, and then you just plug this directly into that hole above his wrist, snugly into place, and then voila, he's able to do that. And I can't get his legs right. I'll have to pose that out when we pose him. But anyway, you get the point. Isn't that cool? Very neat. All right, to coin a phrase or to steal a phrase from Pixel Dan, I'm sorry. It's comparison time, all right? And I actually have a figure to compare this time. A lot of times I don't, because I don't have all the figures, but I actually was able to purchase a used Man-at-Arms some time ago, and I love this figure. He's absolutely incredible, and I think he borrows characteristics from the Filmation, the classics, or I should say vintage figure, as well as the 2000X. He's got all of the, look at that, he's got his laser gun. You can store his club on his back with those places. Got a little pouch. Just look at all the detail, the straps. Older figure. He's got the foot pegs, or I should say the ankle pegs there in, and no hinges on the wrist. But look at all the fabulous detail. That helmet, he's got the mustache. Of course, he came with a head. If you're not familiar with this line, I'll just go ahead and let you know. He does come with a head that looks like the vintage Man-at-Arms. But of course, I've got the one with the mustache so that we can compare the two. But there they are, both holding their club. And of course, look at the detail on that club. So you see the difference. But here's the thing. As much as this one looks like the Filmation, I mean, let's just take this one away. Just take this one away and just imagine the cartoon. As much as this one does look like the Filmation, especially with the mustache and the shape and the orange and the color and everything there, I mean, if you had not seen the other figure, you'd be very satisfied and impressed with the details. Even got the blaster on his arm, even though it doesn't have the blast effect like the Filmation version. So you got those shoulder pads reminiscent of that big one that was on the 2000X line. But he's got everything you need, but there's just something about seeing that cartoon, that Filmation Man-at-Arms come to life. Am I wrong? I mean, let's look at that. There's just something about that face and the detail that is given to making him focus on that Filmation, or make us focus on the Filmation version of himself. So you can see the differences. Simple, a little bit brighter colors, not any shading or detail given to anything, but just like it was drawn and animated in the cartoon series. So I just really like both of these Man-at-Arms figures. because they both bring something to the table, so to speak, just something really special. Very special character. One of my favorite action figures, or I should say characters in the show as well, and now come to life in action figure form. So thank you, Super 7, for bringing us this rendition of Man-at-Arms, just to make sure you know there's no storage unit on the back, no details on the back of his armor to help you store any weapons, but just detail. He's got the musculature like the Filmation cartoon, and all the chiseled cheek there. Just check out that detail. Just absolutely phenomenal and amazing detail there. To me, I'm just impressed. You know, it's just a blessing to be able to have this cartoon character come to life for us in both of these awesome action figures. One by Mattel, the Classics version, and one by Super 7, the Filmation Club Grayskull version. All right, so let's get to some poses. Thank you so much for checking us out. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Of course, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell if you're interested in getting some notifications when I upload a new review or part 4 of Masters of the Universe, the story. God bless.